Infant PYL playing the Twitch and Janna. This time we'll see Xayah and Janna. First Janna in a very long time in Korea. I believe there was maybe one throughout the course of 2016. None in 2017. We know that Gorilla's probably somewhere in the back watching this being like, maybe I will also play Janna. Seeing this pick, but Janna's Xayah strikes me as a very weak 2v2. And while Rakan is not strongest in the laning phase, Varus certainly is.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have so much poke, and the shields are going to be there from the Janna to help mitigate that damage coming through from the poke from the piercing arrows, but the power just not really going to be there. So the hopes of winning something like a 2v2 skirmish in that bottom lane just seems very slim for the side of MVP. And I mean, that's before even taking into consideration the skill that these guys have shown off so far in the summer split. So they're already at a disadvantage. Now going to be at an even further one as far as the picks goes.
But if MVP do get to the late game ahead, they have double disengage with Gragas and Janna, and also the shielding from Orianna for a 3-item Xayah to prosper. So options in the late game, but getting there against the top-ranked team as the 10th place team, that is going to be the real problem for MVP.
Yeah, we'll see just how competitive they can make this series, if at all. Because this is a David and Goliath story, as we have already been touting, since 2 days ago when we took a look at this matchup the first time out. So, backs against the wall, MVP need every win they can get.
Think about getting out of lane. So I imagine lane swaps around mid lane will be what they want to do. Have the 2v2 in the laning phases. Cuvee gonna find the Gragas.
That flashes away from the body slam. Beyond could still chase forward with his own flag and drag in. Cuvee looking for the trade, finds the first blood. Can he make it out with his life is going to be the question.
Oh no.
Slices and dices in.
Ian doesn't have Ghost or Flash. Its Ghost is actually back up, but his Flash is still down.
We're going to be pushing through, looking for this one. Beyond nearby. We'll get the pop-up. Cocoon getting connected onto the minion, but Ian is still going to fall. Just had the Ghost to rely on. And he gets snatched up a second kill of that healing that he was looking for. But for now, still going to be quite all right. But might not last too much longer. Haru looking for the wrap around behind the turret.
Diving at Janna has always been a risky escapade, but there is no ultimate available. One less displacement. Q on cooldown. This is the time.
Yeah, now pushing forward. Cocoon not going to connect. Featherstorm goes up from Maha to try to dodge that one out. And now Core JJ in a bad spot. Takes that turret shot. Cataclysm comes through. Dashes in, but the flag and drag will take him down, but has ADD overstepped. He's looking for Ruler, but Cuvee comes in, and he's not even going to be able to get the tag in for the assist on that kill. He'll just go down as Haru scoops up his second.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't a multiple choice question, Achilles. He certainly had overstepped, was taken down, but Cuvee,
it was rhetorical,
wasn't needed for teleport. Means he's bot lane.
Quite a bit of damage. Blade Caller does get the root, but no one's there to really follow up with the damage. Will get popped up, but Crown arriving off the backside of that TP is able to scoop up the first kill of the fight. Now looking for his second one. Goes low as the body slam connects in. Beyond desperately trying to finish off this Corki, and with Ian arriving off the backside, Shockwave will not actually connect, and Crown is still alive, but he's not long for this world. Will be taken down as Maha re-enters the fight. Scoops up one for himself. So some sloppiness there from Samsung in that bottom lane. Now Haru up at the top just helps take down ADD yet again, but MVP is going to...
Known him for his Zyra. We've known him for, in the spring meta especially, the Zyra Lulu and those sort of picks. Nami also excellent. Seeing him on the playmaking initiator supports is a bit of a change. He only played a single game of Thresh, which was a defeat in the summer season. So to see him able to also play Rakan at a high level, again, we talked about Cuve's champion pool. Also seeing Core JJ move with the times is another thing for Samsung, who, again, need to be respected as one of the front runners for Champion Summer.
Yeah. We expect that a lot of that credit has to go over to the coaching staff, especially Trace, as far as Cuvee is concerned, with the top lane, to help him get onto those more aggressive picks. Speaking of aggression, though, Cuvee coming in with the TP. The lockdown takes Beyond and Ian rather low. Cocoon connecting in. Shockwave will come down, but the Repel will be there for the dodge, and Ruler is able to scoop up the kill onto the Orianna. Beyond falling swiftly thereafter. They trade one back in onto Haru, but that's about as good as it gets for MVP, because they lose Maha. A 3-for-1 in favor of Samsung off the backside of the Drake.
And that's with a compositional advantage for MVP. We're just waiting for the Shockwave. Predictably, Haru, his mechanics still intact from spring season, able to repel. Hula Hoop on the ultimate, sniped out by Ruler. Was Orianna to go down first. They'll lose a turret here as well, and that's just the reality of Samsung being a considerably better team than MVP.
Yep, that's going to be the third tower going down now here for Samsung. All of those outers have fallen, and they are moving that gold lead further forward. A bit angry that they weren't able to get that first brick, it would seem.
You have to also call into question what Janna really achieved in this particular fight. She shows up, is zoned out. Ult misses there. Max doesn't heal because it's not in range of his AD carry. this is with a reason that an AD carry is usually taking the heal Achilles, because 100% of the time, the Janna's not going to be grouped with the AD carry, and Janna did precisely nothing in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Max was just walking back and forth around that wall, didn't find an avenue. You have those rare times where you can ride the Rift Herald all the way through multiple turrets into the inhibitor turret, but few and far between as far as that is concerned. Flag and Drag does come down from ADD, looking for a bit of a skirmish. We'll throw down the Cataclysm as well. Repel up from Haru, but doesn't really have anywhere to drop in. Tries to kill Maha, almost takes him out. But in the meantime, Samsung are still progressing. Even with the loss of their jungler, they move over. They will knock down that inner turret in mid. Just the final one standing in the top lane. Ghost is going to come out here for Ian, looking for Ruler. Shockwave does connect as to the body slam, and they find the kill in onto the Varus. So this is MVP being proactive. There's no smite available for 17 seconds here from the side of Haru.
That's actually really good, Achilles, because the communication was on point. Ruler had flash in 5 seconds. Did not have it as he went through. Got it as he died. They're going to try and contest the Baron. MVP going for proactive. They thought this is their one chance.
All right, well, TP's coming through. QV arriving, as is Crown, right into the thick of the pit. Goes Samsung, Core JJ getting bobbed down. The smite does come down, and the Baron swings over into MVP's favor. QV looking like he can exit safely on the backside of the fight. His Crown barely avoids that flag and drag with a Valkyrie. Samsung looking for something, looking for some kills off the backside of this to try to deny these Baron buffs coming through, but they're not going to be able to find anything in MVP. Nice decision making. They come away with a Baron.
And the crowd roared in anticipation of what was looking like a wombo engage, but everything was up this time. They had the Summoner spell heal up. They had the Howling Gale and the ultimate up from Janna. They had the cask up from the Gragas. They disengaged. They stayed high health. And M4, same summoners available for the Janna. This is a big point in the game.
But this time around, there is a smite here from the side of Samsung. If Haru can make his way into the pit, Crown going to be poking out from the backside, throwing out those rockets. Up with the repel, has to go in, drops in, but can't get it. It's actually confirmed by Ian, picking up the Baron here for MVP yet again as they keep their hopes alive. 2 members dead on the side of Samsung. Let's see what they can get this time around. It was 3 turrets last time out. They're going to be looking
to have a minion wave in bot lane. So herding them back into the base.
And we'll get the wrap around, but MVP just going to go ahead and push over towards that top side of the map. They need to get rid of Maha early on, or at least get rid of something like the explosive cast.
And I threaten to dive here with a big wave.
Up beyond going in, gets a pop back in onto Ruler. Cataclysm down, Shockwave will connect.
Dead
the Varus has
again.
fallen yet again. Despite both summoner spells being used, he will die, as does this top inhib turret. Now Samsung looking to be under fire, looking to lose this game actually, as ADD goes in yet again with another flag and drag. Hell up comes down from Haru. He will hit the ground, comes down safely, but MVP are just going to be looking to sweep through the base. Another minion wave on the way as they look to take down another inhibitor.
There's just no threat onto Maha at all because of the Janna. The laning phase, it was rough. The early game was rough as well, but one pick onto Ruler. And MVP, credit, they have not really
too much longer. Super Creep's going to start coming down through the bottom lane as well, so MVP have everything that they can possibly want. The Dragon buff still there for a little bit longer. It's going to be the engagement going through. They get the pop-up. It's going to be Maha going down. Can they follow up with more is going to be the question. Crown with the package ready to go. Does he want to go in? Does he see an opportunity? The answer is no. We'll just let these remaining members of MVP work their way out of the base. Samsung, they hold on. That was the pick that they
to escape.
And a redemption.
Yes.
And a flash.
Command protect.
And a heal.
Gragas cast defensively.
It just goes on and on.
The list is quite long.
Yep. All right, well, here we go. MVP going to be looking for the finish. Core JJ going in, gets the pop-up, but Maha still not threatened. Has a Feather Storm to get himself out of there. As Cube desperately tries to lock him down, but it's just not doing anything. Samsung have not lost any members yet. Cube almost loses out on that GA. Core JJ dashing to the side, gets himself to safety, but now it's going to be the Nexus turrets under fire.
They just can't scratch
Baron
MVP.
Empowered minions coming through. Nexus now exposed at MVP. 47 minutes on the clock. It took a hell of a lot of time, but it seems like they've finally done it. They'll kill Ruler one last time for good measure. 10-9 at the end of it. One of the craziest back and forth games that we've seen, and MVP will finally pick up a win.
And it took our resident mad scientist support Max going for the Janna, which didn't look like it would get over the line in the early game or even get to this phase of the game. Hitting 5 to 6 items, having all the synergy of all the reworks to Ardent Sensor and the other shielding items, and basically by the end, if everything hit and there was free time for Samsung, they still couldn't really scratch the front line and certainly not assassinate the back line of Samsung, of MVP. Maha was eternal on the AD carry in this particular game. The Xayah was just living forever, and Samsung look a bit stumped, and maybe it's time to bring in ambition for Game 2 and certainly make some adjustments in the ban phase, because 10th just beat first in Game 1.
Absolutely crazy performance here for MVP. And honestly, the only way for Longzhu to take first place here today was if they beat Samsung, if they can have them suffer a loss, and Longzhu is able to 2-0 Everate, they could take over that first place spot. It still is going to be an uphill battle here for MVP. It's just Game 1, but it was a hell of a game from them. But can they